So the day of the wedding, y'all. This is one of the twists of the wedding, right? So the preacher, remember the preacher, y'all. Remember the preacher. When I say, oh, I ain't getting married. The preacher says, hold on. I look at him like, he said, this is what he say. He say, now hold on. I know you love this girl. Don't make a drastic decision. I think you should just let God handle it. I say, huh?
And this is the number one terrifying reason why a lot of men don't want to get married. Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Ruling Class Podcast. And of course, I'm your host, Didi, back up in this Twitch with another video. And man, I got two goals. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of October. And my second goal is to drink some of this water. And I'm thirsty to fulfill both goals, and I need your help to do it. And you can do that by liking, subscribing, sharing this video, and commenting on this video. But don't worry, I'll give you a sec to do that. All right, let's get into the video.
So I'm with a chick at the time. We've been together for like a year or two. I met her in New York in the subway. I was my first year in NBA. I met her in New York, and I flagged her down while she was driving. Got her number. Ended up talking to her. We ended up dating for a year or two. I go to San Antonio, right? She's with me in San Antonio. So y'all know I won a championship. So when it was time for me to go negotiate my contract the following year, the team told me, we want you here, Jack. It's a number of reasons why you won't here. And this is my first time ever hearing something like this. So one of the reasons why San Antonio didn't want to sign me back was because of the girl I was dating at the time. Said she was a bad influence to some of the other wives. They didn't like how she dressed. And San Antonio wasn't that type of organization, but how can you tell somebody how to dress? You know what I'm saying? This was my woman, so I didn't really care about it at the time. I didn't really pay him no attention. Cool, I'll bounce. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should be worried about my basketball, not who I'm dating, right? So that's one reason why I didn't sign back after we won a championship in San Antonio, right? Was because of the woman I was with.
All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to let the video play after this, I promise you. Let me just stop and say this just real fast. He mentioned how he ended up not signing with the team, and one of the reasons was because of the woman that he was with. And the organization was saying that she was a bad reflection on the team because of the way that she dressed. Now, I'm assuming that the way she was dressing was probably super provocative or maybe very revealing clothing. And I don't know where this story is going, but women are a reflection of their husbands. It just is what it is. And a lot of times, the way that a woman gets your attention can communicate something for you. Pay attention to the red flags. Whether you're engaged to a woman or not, gentlemen, men, guys, pay attention to the red flags. Whether that be something she's saying, maybe it be, if you're with a woman and you tell your woman that part of the reason that you can't sign this contract extension is due to the way that she dressed, it don't matter how you feel about it as the man. As the woman, I feel like she should say, hey, baby, I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z to put you in the best position to make money for us. So if your wife can do that, that's already a red flag.
Indiana the next year, and I signed my big contract in Indiana, right? I signed my big contract in Indiana. Before I get my big contract, we still together. We living together and all that, right? So we moved to Indiana. I play a season in Indiana. I proposed to her. And during that time, you know, we plan to get married in Houston. Right? So, newsflash for all 530 y'all here. In order for a prenup to get drawn up, the two people, the man and the husband and the wife, have to agree on what the prenup says in order for the prenup to come out valid, and you both sign it. I give it to her. Granted, when I give it to her, she shouldn't be surprised by it because me and her sat down and agreed up on the prenup. Bam. So we agree on it. A month passed, like 2 months before the wedding. I'm like, yo, look, we need to get that prenup signed so we can go and, send it in and get all that taken care of. So when we get down there to Houston, we ain't got to worry about it. I tell her that like 2 or 3 times. It's a month. That was 2 months before the wedding. It's a month before the wedding. There's no way I should have to keep coming to you about this prenup, knowing we had to agree on this before they even drew it up. So why do I have to keep coming to you about it, about getting it signed? She's like, I'ma sign it, 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 I'ma sign it. I'm like, cool. You know, I love her, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was in love with her. You know what I'm saying? I was in love with her, and we was building a family. So I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't gonna make no big deal of it. I went with planning the wedding. I didn't stop. I kept planning the wedding. I told her several times, dog, about the prenup and asking about it. So bam. So as we this is one of the twists of the wedding, right? So as we planned for the wedding, I'm from Texas, right? She from New York. I'm from Texas. I'm from Port Arthur, which is an hour from Houston, where we get married, right? I want my pastor to do it. He right there. It'll save us some money. She is adamant about this certain pastor doing the thing, right? So I'm like, cool. It's her wedding. I ain't got no problem. Keep in mind, remember this pastor, right? Remember this pastor. This is a pastor. She was, I'm talking about, screaming at me and everything. No, this pastor has to do it. This pastor I'm like, well, we can save money and make more sense. This is my pastor since I was a kid. You don't even know this guy. Some other girl brought this pastor to her attention. Some other girl brought the pastor name to her attention. This a pastor she's never seen. Don't even know. But she don't want my pastor to do it, right? Cool. Remember that. Cool. I want you to have, this is your day. Everything is yours. I spent about $400,000 on the wedding, y'all. About $400K, right? 2 weeks before the wedding. We going to Houston a week before the wedding. Now we at 2 weeks before the wedding. Everything planned, we ready to go. I'm like, look, bro, why I got to keep asking you about this prenup, bro? It ain't like you don't know what's on it. Like, what motives? This is what I told her. What you up to? What motives you on? I ain't on nothing. I just ain't had time to sign up, planning a wedding and all this. I'm like, man, listen, man, all you got to do is sign it. You ain't got to, it ain't like you got to read it all over again. You know what's in it, da-da-da. I'm going to sign it. I'm going to sign it. We go to Houston. We get there, right? We get to Houston. The night I get to Houston, you know, when we get to Houston, we separate. So she go with her friends, I go with my guys. You know, I'm at home. This is my hometown. The day of the wedding, y'all. We wake up that morning, I'm getting dressed. You know what I'm saying? We all getting dressed for the wedding. Everybody getting, you know what I'm saying? All my groomsmen, we in the little groomsmen room. We all get dressed. In the back of my mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm all thinking about this damn prenup, right? My nanny comes in the room. She's like, how you doing, baby? Good morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, good morning. Like, I talked to her. She said she's going to sign it. I'm finna go get it right now. I just wanted to come check with you to see how you doing this morning, make sure you all right, make sure you wasn't stressing about it. So after we get dressed, where we staying at the hotel, where we staying at is a big ballroom where we was having a wedding, right? So we had to walk. We had to go get on this private elevator. Me and all my groomsmen. We get on the private elevator and we go to a little back room. Where from the back room we just walk out into the wedding, right? So when we get to that room, that's when once we get in that room, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, hold up. You know what I'm saying? This one not really turned up. The priest come in, the preacher come in with his assistant, I guess. And then my nanny come back in there with a spook look on her face, like she still like she pulled me to the side and she still ain't signed it. So when I said that, I'm like, well, shit, I ain't getting married then. She was like, ho. And so look, so the preacher, remember the preacher, y'all. Remember the preacher. When I say, oh, I ain't getting married. Steph was like, she ain't signed a prenup. Yeah, dog, I ain't doing it. The preacher steps up. He's like, hold on. The preacher says, hold on. I look at him like, he said, this is what he say. He say, now hold on. I know you love this girl. Don't make a drastic decision. I think you should just let God handle it. I say, huh? I think you should just let God handle it. Me, as a pastor, I don't believe in prenups. Nah, I know why she was fighting for you. You don't believe in prenups. Nah, it all makes sense. I ain't getting married. I put everything in God's hand. And God is telling me to put the pen in her hand and make her sign this guy prenup. before I get married. That's what God telling me. So God telling me and you two different things, partner. As that's going on, Steph Marbury grows crazy. Hell nah. No, we ain't doing it. Hell no, it ain't going on. Everybody, no. Bruh, this preacher has the nerves to sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes and try to convince me that God told that he don't believe in prenup, so I shouldn't believe in them. Listen, bro, we ain't in the same tax bracket, first of all. So now y'all see why she wanted that preacher so bad that she didn't even know. I'm going to tell y'all this. So I found out this after the wedding. You know what I'm saying? But on the way to the wedding, rest in peace, my grandma dead now, but on the way to the wedding, my grandmother, this is before all this, everything I told y'all. My grandmother told my mama, Jude, it ain't going to be no wedding. This is before all this. My grandmother told this to my mama on the way to Houston to the wedding, right? By that time, it had got rowdy in the bridesmaids room because my sister was in the wedding. You know what I'm saying? Because the wedding had supposed to been started. Bobby Valentino standing up there at the microphone ready to start singing. My mama said my grandmother just sitting there like she already know what's going on. So my sister ended up coming out of there and say, I had to get out of there before I whipped one of them. They ended up talking crazy. Something like that. Not those exact words, but my sister was upset with what was said in there, so she had to walk out. This is when she showed her true colors, bro. This is when she showed her true colors. So, wedding off. Yes, wedding's off. We not doing it. Walk back up to the room. Walk back up to upstairs again. When we get undressed. Y'all know I'm gonna always be 1,000 with everybody. 1,000 all. I'm gonna tell y'all the honest truth every time. When we first get back to the room after I called it off, when everybody trying to figure out what's going on, we all get back to my room. I break down crying, dog. Honest to God truth, I can't lie, because I was hurt. Because I wanted to marry her, bro. This is the honest to God truth. I break down crying, dog, for about a good 20, 30 minutes.
So a couple of times he spoke, early in the video, he spoke about how much he loved her. But before he said it, he was like, I'm not going to lie, man, I really loved this woman at the time. Look, he, for some reason, felt like he had to preface that statement by saying, I'm not going to lie. Listen, man, never be afraid to say that you love your woman. If you with a woman, especially if you with a woman you feel like is enough for you to marry her, you proposed to this woman and you went through all these steps to actually go through with an actual wedding, obviously you love her. Never be embarrassed to say that. Another thing is, before he admitted that he cried, because obviously this is a very turbulent situation, he had to preface that by saying, I'm not going to lie. Don't be afraid to say that you cried about something. It does not make you less of a man to say that you cried about something, especially something like this. It's okay to cry. It seems like he want to be rah-rah and tough about it. No, man, it's okay. You're human.
I'm talking about I'm hard down crying, dog. I'm hard down crying because I'm hurt, dog. Like, I'm really hurt. I didn't think a woman would take me to this point over a piece of paper and not marry me, especially after we got a child and we trying to build some shit. Like, I was honestly hurt. This is why I love him. This is why I fell in love with Mike, baby mama, and this is why I always treat her like my own mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about snot, everything. I'm hard down crying like I lost my, I don't know, bro. I'm hard down crying as a grown man. I ain't never cried like that, right? So as I'm crying, Mike baby mom walk up to me, dog, and it's bringing tears to my eyes today. She walk up to me. She grabbed her bare hand. Mike baby's mom wiped the snot and all this from my face, everything from my face. And she picked my chin up and she said, you became a man today.
Wow.
Nigga, I'm getting chills. As I'm wiping my tears and stuff off, you know what I'm saying, getting ready to go downstairs and party, somebody from her side comes to my room. This is when it get tricky, y'all. Comes to my room and say, hey, Steve, hey, hold on, just calm down. She want to talk to you. She want to talk to you. I said, what she want to talk for? You're like, no, just calm down, man. You was about to marry her. You know what I'm saying? Just give her a second, just out of respect, just show me a little love and go talk to her, bro. All right, I'll go talk to her. So look, I get in the room. She's still in her wedding dress, and she crying and shit, right? So soon as I walk in the room, she hard down crying. I'll sign it. Da-da-da-da, I'll sign it. I'm whatever, I'll sign it. I was born at night, but not last night. One thing I know, anytime somebody signs anything where they crying under any type of stress or any real emotional or something like that, that shit can get thrown out. I was already told that before I even signed this prenup, before I even got to Houston, so I was already on game. So that she tried to get me in that room and see her tears and think I was gonna buckle and she could sign it while she crying and all that. Then come back and when they try to stand up, she gonna be like, I was emotional at the time, and it's been thrown out. It's happened to men before. I stood on that. Man, we go downstairs, distress. That's what it's called. Claim under distress. Thanks, Nikki. Remember I told you Steph was turned up. I'm talking about, dog, this nigga Steph on Marbury is crazy, dog. Soon as we get to downstairs, he already in the DJ booth. Dog, this shit is hilarious. He in the DJ booth. As people walk in, guess what's the first song they play? She gives me money when I'm in need. And she's a tribe indeed. Oh, yeah, she's a gold digger. Way over town. That's good to me. Oh, dog. End up blowing by 300, 400,000. And this more crazy shit that happens, dog.
What's something that we can learn from this? One, if you have a prenup and y'all have an understanding to get a prenup and she decides to not do it for whatever reason, that's a red flag. If she want to wait until the day of, this story is mind-blowing. This is crazy. Another thing is, listen, I understand everybody out there don't believe in God, but you need to have God in your life. I have not heard him mention God at all, not one time. There needs to be a solid foundation of a trust in Jesus Christ in your marriage. If not, it's not going to work anyways. It's going to tumble. Another thing, he mentioned how he was willing to ignore the prenup because it was her big day. No, it is not her big day. It is y'all's big day. And if you would have understood and had that mindset that it was both of y'all's big day, you probably wouldn't have been in that situation because you would have realized how important your feelings are just as important as her feelings. You wouldn't have just put her on this pedestal. You would have put yourself on the same pedestal with her. Another thing is, it's very important to spend years. I recommend that people spend years with their significant other before you talk about something like marriage. It's such a big step. Remember, 50% of all marriages end in divorce and 41% of all first-time marriages end in divorce. So you got to keep something like this in mind.
Nobody knows this but my partners that was around me. Hey, Rito, this the sickest part of the whole thing right here. After we had party at the hotel, me and all my partners getting ready to go out that night. Two of her main squeezes that was dealt with her was with us that night. And I'm going to keep it funky. I downed one of them. You feel me? But that's her friends, though. If I'm going to trick 300, 400,000 off for nothing, yeah, I'm going to get some get back. We pulling off. They outside, where y'all going? Where y'all going? I look at my partner, I'm like, they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait for the opportunity to jump down.
Let me just say, I don't agree with this. We can easily sit here and say what we wouldn't have done. I don't have $300,000-$400,000 to spend on a wedding. So who knows under the emotional state and at the young age that he was at, because he said it was when he first came in the league. But gentlemen, please don't do what he did. Don't go and have sex with your fiance's friends. But I also want to speak to how irresponsible he was in that situation, despite how the distraught, mindset he was in. But also to the women, for the friend of other women who came to their friend's wedding, and for you to have sex with the husband to be, for you to have sex with him that same night when things didn't work out with him and your friend, that's foul. That's foul. Ladies and men, that means you really need to watch your circle, because he had a great group of people around him to kind of put him on game, so that was dope. Another red flag is when your wife is rooting for a pastor that she does not even know, and then you get there on the day of, and this pastor is doing what he's doing. That was set up. That was a trap the whole time.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.